Am I in the right spot?
Yes, good morning.
Oh, thank God. Couldn't get.
Hey, Ronnie, good
moving.
morning.
Good morning. Sorry, Arthurine. I was leaving the word wizards and I somehow, I don't know, couldn't get here. All right. Arthurine, this is your show. You're saying something.
She's on
beautifully
mute.
put
First
together.
day on Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Kayla. Yeah, so Imani has made you host, Ronnie. And so this
Okay.
is officially now your show. Thank you guys for coming. This is a training hosted by Keller Williams Realty Atlanta North in my market center. And if you guys don't know who I am, most of you are my friends. So I'm Arthurine, and I am one of the productivity coaches in the market center. I'm also a realtor, so I am boots on the ground all day long. And so my goal, one of the things I do is to bring high-level training to our market center. So we have been blessed by all of you. So I basically just ask nicely. And sometimes I have to ask a lot, Lisa, and because I have to get on these high-powered agent schedule. So Ronnie has graciously gifted us with 2 hours of his time. From what I understand, they're always new tips and tricks for RPR. And I know personally that the RPR has helped quite a few people that I know, including myself, to have that conversation about equity and what to do with equity, if anything, and is it the right time to move. So you guys just want to have another tool to be able to have that conversation, right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
Arthurine.
Yes, thank you, Claudia. Thank you. So, Ronnie, this is your show. I have a class that I have to jump on at 12. So, Imani will be on, and I have a hard stop at 12. You guys are going to go till 1. Yes, this class is being recorded, and tomorrow we'll be able to send it out. So, for those of you who don't know, Ronnie DiCarlo is a high-level trainer in his market center in Orlando. And Ronnie will give you his information at the end for referrals and how to reach him. Ronnie, thank you so very much. I will let you further introduce yourself. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Arthurine. Appreciate it. Hey, guys, most of you I know on this call. If I don't, you're my new referral partner if you're not in the Orlando area. If you're in the Orlando area, we still can be partners. Why? Because together we can work to get the end goal done. So today, I'm going to do my original class, which to teach you how to use RPR. Some of you may already know. I'm going to go a little faster with that today because I don't think the mechanics of doing a CMA are that critical. Because here's the thing, guys, is it not right now very hard to price these homes, even if you do everything right? Yeah, because just taking the active pending and solds from the last 90 days doesn't mean you're going to get it sold. And I've said it on a couple of our calls, or exactly what to say every morning. You can do this 100% right, price it right, and still not get it sold. It just depends where the buyers are in your market. Now, very quickly, today I pulled up the sheet. We are at 4.8 months of inventory across the areas that my Orlando Regional Realtor Association tracks. But guess what? Listings are backing up like crazy. But according to the shift book, we're in a seller's market. Bologna sandwich. No, we're not. Because every buyer I talk to, first thing they keep telling me is I'm waiting for the bust. Try not to laugh in their face. Just try to educate them. And the sellers are still trying to price it in 2020 and 2021. And that's where RPR can be used as a leverage tool. because the beauty of RPR is every 2 weeks it updates, and every 2 weeks it says what? The RVM, the Realtor's Valuation Model, which is what they come up with, that magic number that we hear, is either up or down in the last month. And then they also tell you what it's been up or down in the last 12 months. OMG. That's an aha. When you got somebody on the face and they want to sell it at X and you want it at Y, and you say to them, well, let's take a look. Could you tell me in the last month, has the home appreciated or depreciated? And if it has a red arrow going down of 29,000, they can't ignore that. And that's not the only site that does that. You know, our Keller Williams websites do the same thing. Price decrease, increase. You know, it was funny. There was talk of what? Should you say price reduction? Should you say priced right? Could you say repurposed? You don't have to. The big engines, the Zillow and everybody else already have those words there. It already says reduced, price reduction, and etc. So you don't even have to worry about not saying those words. It's already out there. All right. So let's get into the material today. First thing I want to do is, for those of you, I'm going to share, let me see if I get this up the right way, what I want, because we'll come back to this later, but I want to show this because this is where the equity analysis, as we say, the MOFR, we're going to teach you how to do that too, the MOFR, and that should be something that gets you business, whether it's buy business or seller business, because the reality is you can use it as a leverage tool on both ends. All right, so let's see. Okay, can everybody see my screen? It should say 6967 Baresh Way. Okay, so very quickly, I'll write down to page 2. The current estimated value is 718,390, maybe. But that's your MOFR, that's your foot in the door. But guess what? If you're sitting in front of this person and they're saying, well, we want to list it at 750. Now, there's been a lot of talk lately, and I'm shocked because people finally realize most realtors, if they do it right during a decent market, and what I mean by that is a market that is not this uncertain, they usually price it to include a negotiation. So normally I would have said 750, take it tomorrow, because 750 after fees and everything else, you're probably going to wind up at the 718, because I'm going to ask them, what do you want to walk away with? But in this case, 750 is not going to fly, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to ask them to look and say, could you tell me what was the change in the last month? And then I take my pen and put it right against there and point to them, point to it, and let them tell me $30,000 that went down in the last month. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we need to price it right, or better yet, price it aggressively, and then always, always, always tie it back to their motivation. If they don't have motivation, you shouldn't be with them. If their motivation is, I'm testing the market, you say test it with somebody else, literally. Okay? That's why, as I was taught when I started this business, a wise man told me, you lead generate so you don't have to tolerate. If you have enough listings, you're not going to worry about tolerating. Okay, so we'll get back to that in just a little bit. I want to switch and show you now how to do a CMA, and this CMA is going to be faster than you could believe, because reality is I can do a CMA in less than 8 minutes. It's that easy. All right, don't overthink this. All right, so I'll switch gears here. Let's see if it's going to switch. You should see get a CMA in 10 steps, okay? Oh, before I forget, let's go. Where is the chat?
Right at the bottom,
Oh.
and Imani's keeping her eye on the chat for you.
Okay,
So
very good.
would
So
you
what I
like
want to
me
do
to?
is, well, what I want to do is I want to share the handout. So you do have it. And this way you can play along and or have it for future reference. Because the video is good and having the handout also is very, very, very lucrative. Okay, so this is what I'm looking at right now. Okay, get a CMA in 10 steps. That's what it was originally called 10 years ago when I started teaching this. All right, so this is my MLS. It's called Stellar MLS. It's part of Matrix. Very simply, you just log on to Matrix. The next thing you want to do is type in the subject property. That's the only thing you need to do is type in the subject property. All right, so I'm going to go through the PDF and through the live. Okay, so, and if you have questions, please jot them down, put them in the chat. We can refer to them in a little while, if you wouldn't mind, please. All right, so let me see. Where's my MLS? There's the MLS. Can you see my MLS now? Okay, so this is the newer version because the snapshot was the old version. So very quickly, I'm going to put in the address that I am going to use. And let me see, make sure I have the right one. Okay. Okay. Okay, that didn't work. Let me see. Okay, that's the Zoom. Let me just change that. It should be, where is that? Okay, it is 8991 Cuban. So if you have matrix, the less is more, less is more. That's all you have to put in. When I put it in, I'm going to hit it, and there it shows it is an active listing right now. I'll click on the MLS number. Okay, the multiple listing service number brings this up. This is 8991 Cuban Road, Kissimmee. Okay, it is listed at $530,000. It has been on the market 70 days. Most people, most agents, most buyers would look at it and say it's overpriced. Or
Ronnie,
there's something wrong with it.
everybody's putting in the chat. We're not seeing your live screen.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Hold on. We'll switch it up. Sometimes you got to keep switching these. How about now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, but
perfect.
how did you get there? The last that we saw was the PDF where you were putting in the other one.
Hold on. So I'd be in my MLS. There's the MLS. I would type in the address. And if you have Matrix Core Logic, less is more in the address bar. You just type in the number and the street name. That's it. Click the magnifying glass. It brings up the listings. And now I will click on the multiple listing service number, which brings me up to the broker synopsis. That's what this is right now. Okay. So this is in Kissimmee, Florida. It is listed at $530,000. It's been on the market for 70 days. So most people would say it's either overpriced or something's wrong with it. Okay. That may or may not be true. All right. How would I know that? I would go down to the bottom here where it says history. I want to view the history and find out when it was, because I want to see if it went pending, if there was decreases. In this case, though, it was on the market in 310, 225 new, and it hasn't had a decrease, which tells you what? Anybody tell me?
It's overpriced.
Well, I don't know if it's overpriced, but there should have been an adjustment, correct? As we're taught. what's her name? Mara with Remax should have at least had one price reduction, if nothing else. Those of us that were back in the REO days during the short sales, we knew the banks would automatically reduce the price every 35 days. You could actually set your watch with it. And that's when you told your buyer, hey, if we wait 35 days, then we'll put it in offer because there's going to be a price reduction. We know that to be true because that's how the banks operated. Okay? So in this case, we don't know if this is the absolute. Okay? Now, across the top here on mine, we have these beautiful little icons. And some of them will give us a lot of information that we need. The one that we're going to talk about today, though, of course, is RPR, the Realtors Property Resource Property Report. That's where we're going right now. So I'm just going to click on it, and it's going to go right to RPR. Yes, it did what I wanted, because yesterday it did the same thing. So most agents would freak out right now and say, oh, it doesn't work. Oh, my God, what am I going to do? So I'm going to tell you something. This is good that this happened because most of us will be looking for properties that are on the MLS. Well, guess what? I bought my house in 2005 from a builder. It has never been on the MLS. You can't look me up on the MLS, but you can find me on RPR. And when this happens, that RPR doesn't show you this, we're going to do the next best thing. Does anybody know what the next best thing is?
Public records.
That could be, but no, we're actually going to go and use RPR.
Remind.
Because does everybody see the Google now? I'd have a separate tab open. Or I got to reshare.
Yes, it's open. Google is open.
Okay. So RPR stands for what? Realtors Property Resource. Who built this beautiful tool that half the agents of the membership don't use? The National Association of Realtors, NAR, Realtors Property Resource.com. Whenever you can't find it in the MLS, that's what you're going to use. Now, let me get rid of everything else here. Okay. And when I do that and you hit enter, OMG, you get the nationwide. Okay. Now I'm going to take and put the full address in here. Oh, it's not copying that for me, but anyway. Give me 1 second, because I know it's in the drop down. Right here, 8991 Cuban Palm Road, Kissimmee, Florida. I click on it, and magically we get the RPR, what we're looking for. The exact thing that we're looking for, which is, it's listed at 530. Okay. It was active on 127/25. There's the listing ID. The RVM, the Realtors Valuation Model, was updated on 5/10. That was what? 9 days ago. 9 days ago. It has a confidence score of 5. Okay? The confidence score says the RVM or AVM, that's automated value method, describes the expected accuracy of a property's RVM or AVM estimated value. A 5-star rating is the highest confidence rating and 0 the lowest. Confidence score is based on the outcomes of multiple automated valuation models. Okay? Now, you can click on that and learn more. I will show you what we mean by learn more. And what that is that the reality of the 5 stars is that there's not much in between the stars to how much weight is valued with the confidence score. And what I mean by that, very simply, let me just bring that up. There's the confidence score. There we are. Okay. And toggle back, share. Okay. The confidence score, if it's 5 stars, the sales price is likely to be within 10% of the AVM RVM, plus or minus. 4 stars, 15%, 3 stars, 20%, 2 stars, 25%, 1 star, 30%. There's not that much of a difference, so don't get hung up on this. But it's a great tool to use to know that with the confidence score at 5, you almost can take this to the bank. And what I mean by that, that's what it's going to probably sell for. You still do your homework, but that's what it's going to sell for. If it's 4 stars, you have to do a little work. 3 stars, you definitely got to do more work, okay? So in the last month, this is only gone down $2,000. The RVM. So in the last month, it was $521. Is $530 not a bad listing price? Not really. It's not bad. But I would have to see what kind of offers they're getting, etc. In the last year, 0.91% appraised up over last year. Okay? So now, while you're here looking at the RVM, most people say this to me, well, I can't find what's happening. I can't find those things. Here's the thing, guys. RPR is very open book. The reason I trust it so much, the reason you should is the MLS is flawed. What do I mean by that? The MLS only gives you what? Active, pending, solds. They don't give you the FSBO, right? They don't give you the off-market properties. And only if you put the FSBO into your MLS to get credit for it, does it even show up. But RPR goes to the tax records and looks at everything else that it can find. That's why the RVM is there. So when you see this, if you're not happy or you think it's wrong, click on the I, and it tells you the estimated values generated by the auto valuation model. Okay? You also can click the view details. Guess what happens? It shows you how RPR came up and created this RVM. What did they use? The properties they used to come up with this. Okay? Now, are you going to use 10 or 12 of these? Probably not. The old school of thumb is what? 3 active or pending and 3 sold. The same way an appraisal would be. So don't overthink this. Okay? All right. So let's move on. You can explore this on your own. So very simply, you got here and you want to do a equity analysis CMA, a full-blown one. Scroll right down here. What does it say here? CMA value. Create CMA. The wizard is there for you. It's a very simple wizard. Just click on it. Once you click on it, it's going to come here and it's going to start the wizard for us. So the wizard is going to have the property summary, and then it's going to start asking you questions. It's going to say confirm the home facts. Okay, what do they mean? You come in here and you look at it. The public record says there's 5 bedrooms, 5 total baths, full baths. Living area, 3015, okay? Lot size, etc. The listing data says 5, 3015. If that all matches up, great. If it said something like there were 20 bedrooms, I don't care. As long as the buyer cares, because those bedrooms will be tiny. The only thing that matters is the living square footage, because that's what's based on what? Or what is the living square area produce for us every first of the year? That's how the what is calculated. Property taxes, like Doreen just said, absolutely. So that's why you don't care. The second part of the wizard says what? Find comps. That's it. Find comps. Real simple. Now, when you bring this up, either write it down or commit to memory. 3,015 square foot, 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, built in 2012. Okay? You're going to use that to your advantage. The next thing, when you come here, you're going to see property. Property type is single family, active pending, active closed, etc. Listen, you want to start looking for free listings? Yeah, you could look for expireds here if you wanted to. If you wanted to. Yeah, why not? All right, so prior to the pandemic, the default for RPR was within the last 3 months. During the pandemic, because we couldn't find anything, the default was last 6 months. And guess what? If it starts getting stingy again, that we don't have inventory, you may have to go back 6 months or 12 months. You may have to go back 6 months now because the market is so crazy, just to try and justify why you're saying, no, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we cannot price it 60,000 more than it should be. But the default for now, they're back to the last 3 months. Just leave it alone. I used to tweak it. I used to tweak it right down to the living area. And I've learned just leave it alone and do what you can. Now, some of you may like to search with a shape, meaning a box, radius, or polygon. That's fine. The only caution I give to you, there's the subject property. You better know the exact subdivision if you're in a subdivision. Because if you take it outside of that subdivision, you may bring in inferior or superior comps. Okay? So I don't use the map. I use, and that's why I say no to square footage, because that's going to help us. All right? I'm just going to click the search. The search now will bring up. So right now we only have 5 sold properties to be used as comps. Now, I'm not really concerned. Basic computer skill I'm going to teach you. Where it says square footage, I click on it once. And then guess what? It now puts it into a high-low. What do I mean by that? It has the highest square footage to the lowest square footage. And very simply, what should I do? Just look at 3015, 3015, and see if those are comps I want to use. Now, in the essence of time, I've already selected them because I don't want to get into too depth about this. So I'm just going to say, let me see if I have. I use 2957 Beach Palm Avenue, the second one here. It is 0.4 of a mile from the subject property. Would you say it's in the subdivision? Could be right around the corner from it. It sold on 3/7, which was 2 months ago. Still within our 3-month range. 509 was the closing price. It is a 3015, same square footage. 55 in 2013. Okay? So guess what? It is almost identical. It's probably the same exact model. And the blue star says what? Used in Realtor's valuation model. Yes, they selected this as one of their comps. Now, am I always going to use it just because they said so? No. It's up to me to determine. In this case, yes, I decide to use it. And now on the right side, the range based on these comps is going to start to show up. And it's going to show us these comps. So we need 3 solds, and then we'll go for 3 active and/or pending. Next one that I used was 2936 Buccaneer. Okay, and that's 0.3. A little closer, was on 311, 4 days later. 499.9, 55, built in 014. Okay, was used in the RVM. I'm going to add that. All right. So now we have one more to choose from. The last one that I used was 8882 Candy Palm. Okay? Candy Palm, which is this one. 3/4, it sold for $495. It's 0.2 of a mile. It's even closer. Okay? And it's a little bigger, but guess what? It sold for less than the list. So that's something I want to know. Now, bigger why? Because it has an extra bedroom.
Mhm.
So guess what? If we backed out that bedroom, this price should be even lower. All right. So I'm going to add that to the list. So now I have 3 comps in between 452 and 510. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to search for actives and or pending. I have 22 to choose from. Oh my goodness, a potpourri. But guess what? That's not very good of a potpourri, because what does that mean? There's too many listings in this neighborhood. All right. If they're all in this neighborhood and you see how close they are, yeah, inventory's backing up. Even though market stats tell us we're in a seller's market. Still hyper local. Don't forget that. So my first gut is to still look for 3015, which is the size. Okay, so I'm at 3015. All right, now let's see. For time, I did not use, I used this one, 8945 Cuban Palm Road. Okay, what's our subject property? 8991 Cuban Palm. This is on the same street. Okay, but guess what? It's been on the market for 63 days. Listed at 518. It's a 5.5 built in 12. I'm going to use that because it's identical to ours. The next thing I'm going to use is 9004 Majesty. Okay, 0.4 tenths. Listed on 416. It's been 33 days on the market at 499. 3015, 55, 2014. I'm using that. The last one I'm going to choose is 8961. Where'd you go? Nope. Where's my 8961?
Why didn't you like the pending one? That was 88 days on the market.
And there it is, 8961 Cuban. That's the one I was looking for.
Oh, yeah.
There's the pending one. 88 days on the market, less than a tenth of a mile away, right? We're 8991, this is 8961, okay? 490, I'm going to use this one. Now, I did this yesterday, and look, I have another pending. Let me see the other pending. This one is Sugar Palm. I probably would take this one over one of the others. Can anybody tell me why?
Most
Or
Because
excuse me,
the
with
price
you.
most
and the
recent pending?
What's that?
Most recent pending?
Well, the key is pending. I prefer pendings over active.
Mm.
Why should you prefer pendings over active?
They're closer to closing.
Maybe.
And
What else?
because of the price.
they've won the dance. They've won.
Very good. And how do you know that?
Of all the pretty girls at the dance, they were asked to dance to waltz.
I love you, Audrey. But what's the leverage?
They're under contract.
Mm.
Yes, Lisa. And what's the leverage? What could you do?
To call,
I
to
can
call
call the
Who said
agent.
that? Who said call?
I'm calling the
I
agent.
do.
Ding, 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 ding. You pick up the phone, you call the agent.
Mhm.
You're not going to say, what'd you get it for? What's on the contract for? Because they think got a buyer fishing for the price. What you're going to ask is, hi, listen, I got this seller that's looking to list their property right in the same neighborhood. Let me ask you, did you guys get full price of $490? It's a yes, no question. Well, I can't tell you the exact, I don't want to know the exact price. Did you get at or above list price? Let me ask you, were they cash offers or finance offers? That's all you want to ask. Because then you can determine what was going on here. It's leverage. It's a leverage tool for you to then decide where it's going to be. Okay? That's why I would take the pendings over the actives every single day. You guys know this. You got this. All right? All right, so now that we got 3 and 3, could you use more than 3? Everybody say yes. Yes, but be careful, because then you may have to answer for, it bit me in the butt one time when I used the 4th one, because it was lower. It was the right one, but it was lower for the starting point with my buyer. I was doing it with a buyer. Okay, so now that I have it, the next thing we're going to do is update the valuation and close. That's simple. Now you let RPR do its magic. Oh my God, 495, 465. That's what RPR is telling us. Based on market conditions right now, that's where this should be priced.
Ronnie, where was the update? How did you do that?
Okay, take it back. See if it goes back to where it's supposed to. Okay, so we got to go through here. See if the edit will take me there. There we go. All right, when you get in here, see it says comps being used.
Uh-huh.
Either on the top here, it says
Oh,
update
okay.
valuation and close, or on the bottom here, it says update valuation and close. I click the update valuation and close. It tells me, and I quote, okay, result of comp analysis is, okay. Now, does everybody see here, make adjustments, adjust comps?
Yes.
If you want to adjust the comps, it's probably because your seller's convinced you. I'll use the Lee Corey line, Goldie faucets. And they're trying to convince you that it's worth more than it is. If you want to spend time making the adjustments, you can. That's a whole nother class. RPR has a webinar on it that will teach you that. My gut tells me if it's going to come to that, get an appraisal done on its own and be done with it. Oh, I forgot one of the most important things. I apologize. Let me go up to the top here. Okay, we selected the comparative analysis. That's what most of us use, correct? Okay, right? Sales comparison analysis is a more detailed evaluation. That would be what? You're going in here and you're adjusting and doing all that. But I want to show you this for a specific reason. You see what it says here, correct? Select analysis type. One of the reasons that I swear by this beautiful tool so much is for this reason. See if I can switch it up and I'll show you exactly why. Go into the bag of tricks. And let's go to right there. Okay. All right, can you see sales comparisons underline a more detailed evaluation on the
Yes.
PDF? So I've been using RPR since 2014. Back in 2014, this is what that same thing said. A workflow for appraisers.
Mm.
What? Appraisers use RPR? And guess what? It scared the bejesus out of realtors because they said, I'm not an appraiser, so I'm not going to use this. RPR got smart and said, take that away. But guess what? Appraisers use RPR because most of them are licensed realtors. They're using this beautiful tool. Nothing more or less than we have that we're paying for. Okay? All right, so let's get back to task at hand. Okay, so we're here. So now that we're here, the next thing we're going to do is do what? Well, I like to go back to the property information page first. When I get back to there, I'm going to get there, and guess what? It now says 530 was the list price, 519 was the realtor valuation model. Comp value shows here at 495. 495. Okay. The next thing you want to do is to create a report. I'm going to click create a report. There are new reports now. There are new beta reports. You can explore them. Some of the beta reports are live dynamic links that will update every 48 hours. So if you're sending it to a potential buyer of a certain area, not a specific property, it will update for them and show them what's going on. For your seller, it'll update theirs every 48 hours to show what's going on. We're going to use the legacy reports like I've always used, because I love the legacy reports. The legacy reports, the property report is the one that I like to use. I've narrowed it down to about 12 pages. 12 pages, which is 6 double-sided. Okay, save it tree. If you view the sample, you'll see what is shown. Well, I'm going to show the regular report. Let me close this. But the customize, you'll see, I don't use the historic photos because it'll take up 3 extra pages for no reason. They know what it looks like. Be done with it. The refined value I don't need. That's if I went in and adjusted the comps and all that. I don't need that. Comp analysis, I don't need because that's just showing you the wizard page. Saves your pages. Comps and adjustments, absolutely. Assessed values, yes. I don't need distressed unless it is distressed. I don't need the housing stats, the people, the neighborhood, the school reviews, anything else. Why? Because if they're that high C that they need that, I can send them a neighborhood report or a school report, which is 10 pages and 10 pages if you want. So if I do this report, all I'm going to do is click run the report, never email it through the system. You always want to proofread it, get a check and balance. Make sure your profile is up to snuff with all your information so they can find you. That'll be your page 1. Put your pretty picture, logo if you have a team, or if you use some kind of logo. That can be found how? Hit the drop down here and just hit profile and do it there. Okay? Those are going to be quick. I would hit run the report. When I hit run the report, it's going to say, want to report? You can still work in the background. If you run the report, you wait for the doorbell. The doorbell means the report's finished, and you're going to open it. I already have the report done, so I'm just going to open that report, and we can look at that. Let's see which one. That's Breshna. I want the other one. Okay. That would be 89, 91. Nope, that's the mini. Don't want the mini. I want the regular one. Okay, so now we'll take a look at, oh, I stopped the share. Let's get back in there. That's okay.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yes.
LaKayla has a question for you.
Yes, LaKayla.
Oh, you mean the one that I have in the chat? I just said, so whatever that price came out to, what was it, $495, something or another? I'm like, how do price breaks, or when we talk about pricing in particular increments based on who's going to see it, that kind of thing, how does that come into play?
So at $495, where do you think I'm pricing it?
At 500.
LaKayla, you already know this. You already heard me talk about this. You know it.
Do
Why?
I'm
Because
just being sure.
Because you don't want to, for $495, for $4,000, you don't want to lose that beautiful pool of 500. And LaKayla, what LaKayla is speaking to eloquently like that is the fact that the search engines go in increments. Some go in 25,000, some go in 50. Guys, you got to shake your head, or you got to know that you're going to have trouble with an agent that prices the home at $499, $999, and for $1 takes themselves out of the market of 500 and above. Shame on them.
But is
Shame
that
on
their
them.
is that their strategy? Do they think keeping it under 500 is helping? That's what I'm saying. People seem to have so many trains of thoughts around this.
Well, LaKayla, here's the thought I have. Most of them are believing that this is retail. When you walk into a pizzeria, if it says $6, you're not paying $6 for pie. You'll pay $5.99 for that pie all day long. That's retail.
Yeah, I'm still a sucker for it.
Yeah, I know. So am I. Yeah. How many times you go on Amazon and the one that was priced $1 lower, you'll go, and maybe it doesn't get the best reviews, but that $1, because it's retail. This is not retail. We're smarter than that. I've seen stupidity like $495, $893. Are you freaking kidding me? Seriously? That just shows that you don't know what you're doing. And then you shake your head and say, how did I get these listings? Well, anyway, let's get
Ronnie-
off the bunny trail. Go
Ronnie,
ahead.
I have a question if you're done with that one.
Yes, ma'am.
So my question is, when you ran your CMA, you came up with a substantially different estimate than the RPR, and yet you're using this. What was the difference between how they came up with and how you came up with? Because why are you more accurate than what RPR says? I don't understand.
I love you, Claudia. I love you.
Thank
The
you.
RVM,
I love you too, Ronnie.
the RVM was done on 5/10. What is today's date?
Oh,
9 days later. Could it be different, guys? Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, it could be different. Don't get me wrong. Am I perfect? We will see. We will see. That's part 2.
We'll see in 5 days, right?
No, we will see at 12 noon probably when I go to part 2. Or if I get through with this right now, we're going to go through it now as soon as we get off this. So page 1 of 13 pages. I couldn't get it down to 12. I apologize. So I like to get it down to even. Six pages. That's all I'm taking with me to a listing agreement. Okay? If you want to print them out all singularly, that's whatever, how you float your boat. Page 1 has everything. Brand yourself, guys. Brand yourself. You want this, right? That's for you. Everything so they can reach you. Page 2, the property report. The list price, $530. Current estimated value, $519. That's the RVM on 5/10. Today on 5/18. I'm sorry. I did this yesterday. That's right. I was going to say, wait a minute. 5/19. Yesterday is $495, $465. Okay? Who's right? Who's wrong? The buyer that wants to pay that price is right. Okay? That's what it is. As you go down to the RPR, just as the home facts to show them, tease them, extended home facts, what's in there, automatic garage door, stucco exterior, blah, blah, blah. Property report tells them the bedroom sizes happen to be there. The reason I include this is one of the most powerful pages you can use, guys. Now, maybe it's because I'm in the AARP. I'm not with that. I don't join AARP, but I'm in that age group. And even if they're 30 years old, you want them to see that a score of 50 is above average. This house, 48 score. This house is in a what? This house is in a short-term rental community, and it's still getting a decent score. Okay? Housing is 51. The neighborhood is 39. Why? Well, you got renters every week, vacationers every single week. So maybe you don't want that in your backyard. Transportation, blah, blah, blah. The environment, yeah, it's nice and clean down here. Engagement, civic and social, there's plenty to do. Opportunity, inclusion and possibilities. What did he mean by that? It's a turnkey moneymaker. It's probably booked 37 or more weeks out of the year because it's what? It's probably 34747. It's probably 2 miles from the main gates of Disney World. Okay? So that's why it's good, even for a buyer, even for your seller to know these things. Next thing, property photos, big deal. Nice, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? I really don't. Comps and adjustments, show them your work. Let them know exactly. Now, RPR does a good job of saying comp versus subject, same. I like that. Lets them know what you pulled are exactly what we have to work with and where the price should lie. Property history. OMG, should I have bought in 2014? Buddy say yes. Yeah, definitely. or anywhere before that, 10, 12, 14, anywhere before that, because right now could have rode with it. And look at the pandemic in 2022, it was worth a lot more. And actually, it's still coming back around here. I don't think it's going to come back where you want it to. And then it tells you the assessed values. Always remember, the assessed values are not market values. They're usually, depends, 40 to 50,000 below market value. That's only what the property appraiser uses. Okay. Who owns it? So we know who it is. It's an investment corp, this one. And then property report showing you what has happened to it. It was put on the market back here in 2021. It got canceled. There was a listing, assessed value. They probably should have sold it here in 23, right? At the height where they could have got the most amount of money, I think, possibly, or 22 when it was really high. If they bought it here at 269, could have done that. But they chose to rent it. If they had a good rental, they left it like that. Okay. Last but not least, the last page is about Realtors Property Resource. Explains everything. Offers comprehensive data, including a nationwide database of 164 million properties. What do we preach on Pivot Shift? I know what's going on in every market, and I have realtors, referral partners everywhere that can help me out. Well, this is why. Because not only do I have those referral partners, but those referral partners like me have access to 164 million properties. Go ahead, and if you're not from Atlanta, Georgia, or wherever you're from, go research the property that you grew up with and go see what it's worth. You can bring it up. RPR, bring it up and tell you what it's worth. Okay? If it doesn't, it's probably because what I've learned is if you're not tied into the local MLS, sometimes it won't show. Okay? But most times I've seen where I grew up, what it's worth, and how much it appreciated from when I sold it with my brothers for $350, and now it's worth $1.5 million. Yeah, thank you very much. Well, that was 1986 or three, so I'm not that bad. I don't feel that bad. I relocated twice from there. All right, so that's the report, guys. All right, I'm going to stop the share. That's how you do it, okay? And now I want to talk about justifying it. That's what I call this, justifying it. So I want to go back into the handout. You already have the handout. You may have already seen the page if you went through it, and that's okay, because you may or may not understand it, and that's okay too. That's why we're going to do it right now. So here's the thing. This is how we did it. These are the step-by-steps, and the step-by-steps here, confirm facts and close. We found the comps. We chose the comps. We update the valuation. We chose a report. We saw the report. We picked the property report. We did that. Here is how you justify RPR. These are the additional links for extra help. And to justify RPR, I have 17 of them. Now, truth be told, on the bottom, it shows Remind. My MLS does no longer offer Remind for free. I used to love Remind because it showed this little box here on the right. It showed First American, Remind, Redfin, the Zestimate, and the Zestimate rental. Today, if I want to use Remind, it's $119 a month. What aggravates me to no bitter end is the reason that my MLS got rid of it. 42,000 members in my MLS, they weren't using it. When you don't use these tools, they stop giving it to you for free. Now, if you want it, it's under 19. So if you have Remind, use it. It's still a great tool to help you, whether you like it or not. It's still a leverage tool. And what I mean by that, you can still use it to show the seller or the buyer what's going on in the market. So here's how it goes. I have the RPR. I take it out. I put it in front of the potential seller, and the seller says, well, that's just one opinion. Okay. Help me to understand. Well, that's just one opinion, and 99 out of 10, 100 of them, first words out of their mouth is what? The Zilio said. Okay. Now, prior to in my market 2.5 years, maybe 3 years ago, prior to that, Zillow was still a marketing guru, just a marketing entity. Okay. Today, Zillow is no longer a marketing entity. Can you see my MLS again? Okay. I'm going to the home page. Or in fact, I'm going to go here and search. I go to search, I go to agent. I'm not looking for the agent search. Well, I can, but I want the office name. I'm typing in the Zilio. There are 25 Zillow offices in my MLS. Yes, they finally got it right. If you can't beat them, join them. Guess what? They now have the IDX feed, just like you and me. So don't start, Code of Ethics says you can't talk bad about another realtor. Amen. So use this to your advantage. I used to say, there's no A for accuracy in this estimate. Can't say that no more. They might be right. Because now they have the data. And if they use an RPR, they definitely have the data. Because to join the MLS, they had to join NAR. So guess what? Use it to your advantage. That's just one opinion. Okay? But now we're going to show you more than one opinion. And this is what I mean by justifying. So if you play along with me, I'm going to show you how we're going to justify. So I have a piece of paper. I don't know if you can see it with my camera. And I've already written down everything for essence of time, because this can take a little while to go through. So we know that the RPR is 495, correct? All right, so next thing we're going to do is I'm going to open a simple second tab. I'm going to go to my real estate folder. And in my real estate folder, I have the equity analysis and I have the justify. And we're going to go to the first. Nasty, nasty bank. Nasty, nasty bank. Because this is what Ronnie found out. Your buyers, sellers, and investors are already doing this. They already know. How many of you have on your website, what's my home worth? Yeah. They're not just using you. They're already going out there and finding out on their own. So my 6-month journey went to find places that you could do the same thing, just like your buyers, sellers, and investors are doing, but without having to what? Give up your firstborn, signing up for an account. Oh, we're almost there. Oh, let's see. Just give us your name, give us your number, give us your email. And okay, do we have the authority to call you? Then they'll give you the thing. No, I want the sites that don't do it. And that's what's on this sheet here. So very simply, I just copy the address. I think I copied it. And I put it in. Nope. Still got to want the ring copied. Give me 1 second. We'll take care of this right now. Shoot. Let's go. Where was that? Okay. Okay. Put in the address. Okay. It comes up. I click on it. Bank of America says right now the estimated home value is 504, 408. You want to round up 505. You want to round down 504. Okay. If you scroll down, it tells you the comparable homes that it used. Now, be careful. Sometimes you're going to see homes that were from last year. Okay? So you may or may not want to use that, but just take this the way it is. Okay? 504, and I now have wrote it down on my little cheat sheet. Okay? That's number one. I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to do this very quickly because it's all the same and I want to save time so we can talk about it. The next one, you can go two ways with this. If you want in your MLS, where is it? Right here next to it, it says Realtor.com Pro Search Property Report. How many of you know that when you go in there, it's going to give you an estimate? Realtor.com gives you an estimate. Yeah, it gives it to the people searching Realtor.com also. So why aren't we using the same thing to help us? So the estimate there is 517,300. If you didn't want to go through there, then very simply, you can use the link that I put, because sometimes some people don't have this built into their MLS. I don't know why. And you would go to My Home, which is this. You enter the address. And tells you the real estimate right here, 517,300. Okay, if you scroll down, the estimated value, okay, it says get a cash offer. That's with who? They're connected with Open Door. If you click on that, that's going to be Open Door trying to give them a offer. All right. Also gives them their net proceeds based on what they feel is the closing cost per se. All right. So that's realtor.com. The next one that we're going to use, I've written that down, 517. Okay. The next one is the other nasty bank, and that other nasty bank is Chase with the home value estimator. You noticed I haven't had to log in. I haven't had to sign up and give my firstborn. That's the point I'm trying to make. I paste the address, get the address, click search. The home value estimator says it's worth 517,300. Oh, just like Realtor. I write it down. Okay. All right. Next one on our list. Let's see. The next one on our list is home value. My home we did. Cocoon. K-U-K-U-N. Cocoon is AI built in. You put it in there. Sometimes it won't work with the address. If it doesn't come up, it's not going to give it to you. This one it did. I click Start Now. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. It says it's worth how much?
163, wow.
Wow, 463. So guess what, guys? What have we been talking about? How the market is going up and down and up and down. This is great to show the seller, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, the buyers are looking at this. I'm not saying your home is only worth this, but this is one opinion, and you have to pay attention. Okay, if we scroll up a little bit, scroll down, it says that the forecast up until 2030 is 465. So it doesn't appear like they're going to forecast it to go running away. It looks like the market is just going to balance and flatten out if you see that. Okay. And that's okay. So guess what? I didn't add it to the main list. I put it on the bottom of my pad for reference. Okay. In case I need it. That's what I want. All right. Now, the next one, if we go to my handy dandy list, Cocoon. Next one is Penny Mac. Penny Mac is a major national bank. Okay, I don't know if it's associated with Freddie Mac and all that happiness, but it's just a bank that I use. All right, you find it. You're not a robot. You get the home. It used to tell you how many days it would take to sell it. It doesn't anymore. Because why? Because the days on market is crazy nowadays. Okay, so now it says it's worth 513. I'm going to write that down on my list. 513. Go down. It has comparable sales. Look at the sales date. So Cuban, this is when it was bought originally, 21. That's the subject property. This one on 2/12 sold for 510. Okay. This one last year, 485. This one this year, 413. Now I got to do some homework. I got to see. Well, the square footage is, oh no, that's the lot size. Where's the square? Yeah, the living area is 1,000 square foot less. Okay, so you gotta interpret this the way you see it, the right way. Okay, so there's plenty of things on here. Now, that's the next one. Let's go to the next one that I have. Okay. What's my home worth? Okay. And this one is rate.com. Rate.com. They just did a presentation in my office. I think they're the new, one of the new lenders we're going to have in the office. So they're a nationwide company also. I just put the address in. Presto changeo. See my home value.
.com.
Rate.com, 522. Okay. I write that down, 522. Okay. And actually, I did it yesterday, it was 523. So it went down 1,000, 24 hours. Here's the 30-year fixed rate in the United States average, if you want that. Okay. It's not as great as the graph that Gary Keller gives us, but guess what? Shows them what's going on. This is something you could print out. Oh, that's 10-year, 5-year, 3-year. Look at that. Okay. Not a bad thing. 15-year fixed rate, the United States average. So there's another tool you can grab to show them, right? Buyers who are on the fence. All these great tools that your buyers, sellers, and investors are already using against you. That's the point I'm trying to make. All right, so that was rate. The next one is Axos. That's another nationwide bank. Let's see. Address. All right, come on. So sometimes it doesn't like the way you put in the address, so you may have to play with it a little bit. Okay, there we go. You see me? It found it. Okay. This is 530. Why did they see it so higher? Don't know, but it gives you a high and a low. Okay. Also gives you the stats for this zip code. Days on market. Look at the days on market. 101 days on the market. Okay. The medium list price is 460. Medium sale price 439. All right. Gives you the market trends. Give you another couple of different tools that you could use. Similar properties let you know exactly what they were pulling from. This is pretty good because it's 2025, as long as the square footage is in line. But you see, these are way off on the square footages. So that would be something I would pay attention to. Okay. Next one. We're almost home here. Let's see. That was Axos. Next one is Movoto. How many of you old timers used Movoto back in the day and was on their program where they called you and sent you leads? And as long as you followed up, because they followed up on you to make sure you called them, you gave them 30% for that lead. Yeah, that was Movoto back in the day. Now you go to Home Estimate. Those of you with Keller, Chris Heller, former president of Keller Williams, is the president of Movoto. He runs this, okay? But I can still use this nice little tool here. And a nice little tool will then give us a estimate. Now, sometimes it wants you to prove that you are a human. So it'll be goofy on me. Yep, press and hold. Want to make sure I'm a human, not a robot. Okay, approved I'm a human. So I have to go back again, do the same thing. And now they're telling us 508. Okay, I've written that down also. The next one that I have is one of my favorites. It's my favorite because guess what? Who do you think uses this one religiously? Every FSBO that wants to be a FSBO that doesn't want to pay us a commission uses this one to find out how much their home is worth. All right, so for sale by owner, we're going to use it too to our advantage. We go on there and we see what they think this home is worth. They're saying 525. Okay. The next one that I have. Now, if you Google right now, I've seen reports that say Redfin is one of the most accurate out of all of these, allegedly. I still would only use it as one of the tools. They're saying 511. You know, they just got bought too, Redfin. So I forgot who bought them. It's one of the majors though, bought them. All right, so the next one is Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage, I used to love this site because it told you how many days it would be on market too. Then they got cute and decided, no, we want you to give us all your information. So I stopped using them. Now they're back to the traditional ways. They must have lost business because of that. So now they're back to, oh, there it is. They do tell you, 99 days, this home is going to sell for $525. Okay? All right. They tell you the price range, the sale time of most of the homes. They give you comparable homes in the area. Be careful. Look at the square footage. Look at the distance, how far away. Okay, this is Cuban Road, okay? All right, this is 900 below asking price. All right, this is their, what their estimates are, excuse me. 6 miles away on Cuban Road, okay? A lot of information. And as I said, guess what? Your buyers, sellers, and investors are already using this, okay? So that was a Rocket. And then the last one, believe it or not, yeah, is the Zestimate. The Zestimate is there. The Zillow has what's my home worth. If they haven't already told you that, you still can use it to your advantage. Now, for purposes of us right now, I'm just going to cut to the chase. I took all of these and I added them up. And when I added them all up, I divided by the number of them, and I came with all of the ones that were in the fives, including the Zillow, and I used the RPR of 519, which is what it had from the 1st of May, right? It came up to an average of 517. Isn't that what RPR said, 519? I didn't even have to go through all of this. I then added in the RPR at 495. And it came out to 513. Okay? I then added in the Kuchen, which was at 464 to bring it down again, right? Added and divided by it, it came out to 511. The point being is if you click on RPR, you probably are going to get the right answer or the starting point. But listen to this, guys. You know, I get these lazy agents in my office that don't want to come to my class, but guess what? It's their first deal. How do I do a CMA? Well, I don't have 2 hours to teach you right now in front of me. Well, can you just help me do a CMA for this property, 123 Main Street? So guess what I do? I put it into RPR. I see what RPR says. I write it down. And then I go to all of these sites and I get a consensus of what everybody is telling us. And I tell them like this: print out Bank of America, Chase, blah, 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 take it with you. If you show them what RPR says and they say, okay, I want to list it, get out and sign the contract. If they sell what Zilio said, lay down the 5, 6, or 7 of them and say, Tulio Pena taught us this, the market has spoken. It's not, I just interpret the market. I don't make it, right? Forget that. Say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, the market has spoken, and just point to Bank of America and everything else. If you want, I'll add them all up and already have it done and say, if I divide, the average is going to be 517. I know RPR said 519. We can't list it for 550 in this market. It's not going to happen. Shut up. Let the silence do the heavy lifting. Let them think about it. Wow. Wow, I zipped through that. Whew. Normally I'm killing for time. We still got plenty of time. Great. All right, questions before I move on, because I got some more goodies if you want. No questions, you're dumbfounded? LaKayla, this is what I was talking about with you, with the pricing now. So now you see it. So now you decide, do I take it to 525 because of the search engines? That's a decision you got to make. Or do I take it down to 500? You know what I mean? It's up to you. Depends what you want to do. All right? So any questions in the chat that I can answer? Everybody's good with it? Okay, we're good with it. All right. So now,
Ronnie, Ronnie,
yes, go ahead.
I think LaKayla had a question, and I'm not sure. She asked me, and I wasn't sure what it pertained to, but going to ask
ahead.
it. What you were saying, what it means when there is no RVM or details showing. What does that pertain to, LaKayla?
Yeah, sorry. I mean, he said it at the beginning, but I couldn't remember what you said, Ronnie. It just means when you type in an address, the RVM may not always pop up. When you hover over the thing, it'll say not enough details or data. And I just wanted to know, are you seeing that more, Ronnie, or does it really? Because what it's saying to me, I know that there's been quite a few sales activity in that community, so I'm not certain why the system would say not enough detail.
So we'll give you an AVM.
It's not giving me anything. I'll give you the address. It's not giving any of that.
Okay, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at it. Give me 1 second. I'll get my RPR up.
Thank you, Lisa.
Too many screens.
Well, and I'm glad that I'm taking this class because I haven't had a formal class in RPR, but I'm pretty much using it the way that you're supposed to. But some of the things you've been sharing, Ronnie, have been very eye-opening. So thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Hey, the fact that you're using it, you're head and shoulders above most people. That's the key. That's the idea, that because you're using this darn thing, you are head and shoulders above these people. So what happened to my, let me see if I get this back. Where are you? You're there. Oh, that's right. When you minimize it, it won't show. All right, so let's go. Come on, Zoom, work with me. There it is. Okay, so let's get into NAR, right? NAR, RPR. All right, address, please.
408 Prince George Court. Should be Chesapeake, Virginia. Yeah.
This one?
No, that ain't the house.
Prince George Court, this one, right?
Yeah, that should be it. It comes up when I do it.
All right. Well, then again, don't forget, you're tied into the local. So
Right, right.
Sometimes it may
So what
not.
shows up for you?
Hold on. Oh, so let's hit the I. If a property doesn't display an RVM or AVM estimated value, it may mean that there is not enough sale data to generate an estimate, or public record data is missing. This can be true in non-disclosure states. Are you a non-disclosure state?
We are a non-disclosure state, but if that was the case, none would ever come up with for any of them. And there's been at least 6 sales in this neighborhood in the last 8
Or in
weeks.
other areas where the public record is incomplete. Also, RVMs and AVMs are for land or culture. Okay, so previously sold in 1999 for that. My gut tells me that what it says here, the public record data is missing. I would make sure that it's updated in public records first.
Okay.
Because
It is.
remember,
That's why I was
RPR
just
may not,
asking you, because all those
Yeah.
things, which I get, that it's stating.
RPR may not be pulling from your MLS. They may be pulling from public records. And if you're public records. Now, since you brought up that beautiful question, guess what? You still can do it.
Mhm.
Because when you go to create CMA, and this is a good teaching tool. Terry, I see you raised your hand. I'll get to you as soon as we get after this. Okay, come on, RPR. Don't fail me now. All right, so when you get there, you get here, confirm facts and close. Okay.
Complete that.
Yes, I'm doing this at lightning speed for a reason. Okay, when you get here and it says find comps, guess what? You told me you know of 6 properties, right?
Mhm.
Is that what you said, LaKayla?
Yes.
What does it say here? Add a known property. You can add those properties. And
Okay.
still make it work.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ronnie,
You know,
I have a question.
go ahead.
Can you just do like a circle around, like a mile around that said property and find those also?
Absolutely, absolutely. So that would be, let me go right here. So that's here. And then draw the shape. Your
Mhm.
box, radius, so radius.
Radius.
So you want to go 1 mile, like you would do in your MLS. If your MLS allows you to do that, go here and drop it at 1 mile or abouts. I'd have to
And
make the
that's what
screen
I do,
bigger.
or even smaller to get minute or a micro. And I do that a lot when I can't find it.
That's fine. Yeah, you can do anything you can do anything you want like that. Yeah. If that works for you, go for it. You know, if you're like me, I want to make sure that I get distance because I want
Mhm.
we have subdivision over subdivision over subdivision.
Mhm.
I mean, because everything's bigger in Texas, maybe that's not true. You don't have those little subdivisions where, you know, I used to show where this subdivision was 24-hour man gated. This one wasn't. So you don't want these comps because it's nowhere near as good. If you understand
Yeah,
what
and
I'm
mine
saying.
is a detached it's a detached, but it's the ownership is condominium.
Ah, okay.
So I definitely don't want other types mixed in.
Exactly. But now you can always add a known property, and that's where you would add it. Okay. Yeah, I remember Julie Hess was saying that's why she wasn't happy because she said, I know properties out there. And I said, wait a minute, there is a spot where you can put that in. You know what I mean? So yeah, what if we hit search on that property right there and 0 came up? Then we'd have to, you know, and like I said, is it 100% infallible? No, it's not. It's just an opinion like anything else. Okay. All right, so for those of you that want to get business, all right, we're going to go with the what? The quick CMA. The quick CMA. It's so easy, the quick CMA. Excuse me, the equity analysis. And I call it the quick equity analysis. It is so easy. Everybody keeps overthinking this, and I keep telling them, please, please don't overthink this. Now, quick RPR equity analysis. All right, so I got it up there. Now, get the share to work. Okay, there we go. Okay, what does it say? Go to RPR, NARRPR.com. Can you go through your MLS and do this? Yes, absolutely. Okay, type in the address. You type in the address. The address comes up. 676 Wilson Street. That's what we're using as our thing. Close price is for $539. It closed on 2021 for that. They bought it. Today, the RVM or the estimate is $693,550. Okay? All right, whatever. Okay. Has nothing to do with this. Don't worry about it. We don't care. What you're going to do, though, is you're going to go to create a report. You're going to go create a report right from here. Well, wait a minute. I didn't pull no comps. You don't need to. That's not what it is. Don't overthink this. Here's how it goes. How do I create an RPR property seller's mini property report? Well, I just told you, go to create a report, okay? You select the report. Choose any report except property flyer, because the property flyer is just one page, and that's not what we want. Any of the reports, you're only going to have to print or save pages 1 and 2. That is your equity analysis, your MOFR. Make offer for immediate response. So in my market center one day, we're masterminding, and I had 2 agents say, oh, let's go door knocking. Great. And the other one looked towards the other one and said, well, what are we going to hand out? And I said, are you serious? I says, go into RPR, pick 20 to 30 homes on those blocks either side, and just print 2 pages. Page 1, which is this, with your pretty picture and everything. And it's only 1 page, do both 2-sided, okay? And page 2, which is this. Knock on the door and say to them, do you know the current estimated value of your home is $693,550? Shut up, wait. Why am I talking? Listen for their response. Well, we kind of know that, you know, when would you want to do a formal? Or when do you really want to know what it could be? If they say, well, you know, we don't know, or, well, we're not thinking of going on the market, fantastic. If you'd like to know, here's my information. Or if they say, well, we don't know if that's the true value, great. Can I come in and show you? Now you're on a listing appointment. Now you come sit down, and now you're going to take that listing or attempt to take it. That's the MOFR, guys, when they raise their hand. Can you email this to them? Yes. Can you text them this? Yes. Can you text them this with just photos? Yes. If you have a program that will save this as pictures, just save the 2, page 1 and page 2, text it to them. Hey, did you know your house is worth? Call me for a detailed explanation. This is what a MOFR is. This is what it was when James Shaw said on the Pivot Shift call and said, somebody just sent me the RPR and it says my house is valued at this. He didn't go to page 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or whatever else they showed him. And he said, that could be used to get us business. And that's when Ronnie learned, and that's when Ronnie said, oh, all you got to do is send page 1 and 2. That's it. Don't overthink it. Questions? Comments? Anything else? So who likes more toys? Gonna give you another toy. So Keller Williams, if you're not with Keller, it's okay. We still love you. Keller Williams is big on playbooks, big on one-pagers. I don't know if oh, Terry, you have your hand up. Did I answer your question, hon? I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. This has been phenomenal, Ronnie. Thank you so much. I've been wanting to be at one of your classes. But I was wondering, is there a list that maybe you've already made up with all the links for all those different places that you've given, or I already asked about the recording, so I will be taking notes.
Page 13 of the handout. Did you get the handout?
Oh, no.
It's in the chat. If you've been with us since the beginning, it's
You
in
know
the
what?
chat.
I got on late, so that's my bad. Sorry.
Hold on. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. Copy. Let's see, in case somebody missed it.
Thank you so much.
Paste.
Yeah, sorry about
There
that.
it is. All right.
Perfect.
Here's the
Thank
next
you.
one. So the next one you're going to like. I think RPR was thinking the same as Keller Williams. Okay. So let's see if I have it. Where are you? Okay. Does anybody do commercial? I meant to ask that before.
I have some commercial, Ronnie.
Okay, so you can toggle the switch in RPR to commercial. I can't speak to it because I'm not commercial. Just wanted to make you aware of that it is available to you. All right, so we're going here, and guess what? RPR came up with RPR printables. These are the residential, printer-friendly, how-to guides that are helpful for anyone looking to have step-by-step instructions on a specific topic in RPR, Realtors Property Resource. Each is laser-focused, blah-de-blah, and then you also have the resources where you can go to find all of these. There's a 24/7 member support. Why it's 24/7, I don't know. I don't know anybody that's doing real estate at 4 o'clock in the morning. You shouldn't be. Well, then again, if you're on a pivot shift call at 7:30 a.m. and that girl in Hawaii, it's what, 5 hours prior? Yeah, she's doing real estate. Okay, I rest my case. All right. RPR is social, etc. What are the 36? Well, the basics. Create your account. Okay, if you haven't done that already. Profile and settings. Remember I told you how to brand yourself if you need that. Okay. Homepage. Let's see what else we have here.
It's the very first thing that you hit to get to this.
What's that?
What was the very first thing that you hit to get to all these options?
Oh, I'm gonna give it to you in a handout. You can download it, and then I'll show you where you can find it in RPR if you want to. All right. My markets. You're doing marketing, property search and details, because remember, you can pull stats now. Map search and analysis, if you want to search that way, it tells you. And then mailing labels. Who knew that you could print mailing labels in RPR? Yeah, you can do that too. Let's see what else we have. Geographic farming, those of you that farm, it'll teach you how to do that. And with these one-pagers, as I like to call them, you also have webinars that go with this hand in hand. As soon as I'm done with this, since we have plenty of time, I will show you where to find that, because that is really, really good. Property details, so you learn all about it if you haven't figured it out for yourself yet. It also has additional resources, integrations, things that integrate with RPR. It may not integrate with you or your market. It's Valuate, there's one of them. Transactions by zip form, climate check, may or may not work with you, but they do have it if you want. Printable neighborhoods that you can do. There should be the one, Let me see. How's the market? So this would be how to go look at samples for the market and tells you how to do the market trends the right way, how to do the summary of it, how to pick each individual and set it up by number of days on market, medium days in RPR, medium price. Schools. Everybody wants to know about their schools. They have the school things with the ratings. I believe it's based on graderschools.org, if I'm not mistaken. That's where they pull the data. Market activity. There should be one about listing. Pricing a property. There you go. Using the RVM confidence score and how to refine the value of a property. There's a little bit, one pager. Well, this is actually 2 pages, as I see. Residential reports that you can print that's telling you about the property report, the mini report, etc. Okay, how to create them. You can customize the report cover photo to be customized to you. So you can see, you can insert custom pages. If you're a big Canva fan, if you're with KW, you probably heard they actually are getting together with Canva. Looks like Canva may be now in command eventually. So I don't know if there's a price on it or not, but you can share reports on Facebook if you want. I'll show you how to do that. The RPR app. If you're not using the RPR app, shame on you. It's just as powerful as the desktop. Okay, and then mobile CMA, you can actually do a CMA from RPR, okay? Right from there. Mobile buyer tour report, and that's the end of the 36 that we have. Before I forget, because I wanted to mention that, I think I started to say, and I got sidetracked for a minute there, with RPR, I was saying that when I have agents come in at the last minute, they want me doing a CMA for them, and I can't because I ain't got the time. I will just take and do the equity and do the 17 and just look at them and put together a list for them and say, print this out and take this with you. And that's it. And I'll do that and nothing flat. Sometimes when I'm in a rush, I'll do that if I don't have time to go research and see if there are properties that match and take it. And 9 out of 10 times it works. Remember, the reason a property sells is why? The buyer and seller agree to the price. That's the only reason. So, Michaela asked where to find these. So let's go and let's show you where to find these. So these reports are located in RPR. There it is there. Okay. So if we go to on the home page, under the Learn tab, introducing Next Generation Reports Beta, minute 23. Next Gen Reports on the app. The Next Gen Reports full tutorial. View the RPR webinars. Step-by-step directions, the printables. Shareable market trends. They'll teach you how to do that. That's under research, right? The residential market trends. Everything is right here. RPR's AI-powered market trends script writer. It'll teach you how to do something like this. I'll go right into this real quickly. Enter a county, zip code, neighborhood. Let's just do 34747, which is our subject property, Kissimmee, Florida. Kissimmee, Kissimmee, right? You have these all on the side here. You can share. You can share where? You can collapse the card. You can share to. I gotta move you guys out of the way. It says it on the bottom here. You can share to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and there is a more button here. You can download it as a JPEG, PNG, or copy it and paste it. Okay. and that'll share the chart that you have. You also can, as you're looking at these, pick the one that you like, the estimated value, how many new listings, the active listings, the new pending listings, the medium list price. And then you can actually take and go here where it says create a script. The script is here. You can create a video script, as our good friend, Auntie Donna Gilbert, told us. You can do the create video script. It'll generate an AI script. It'll actually tell you where to put in the opening shot of me standing in front of Keller Williams Realty sign. Okay. And then hello, everything, tell you where to put in the closing shot of me at the sign. If I'm not doing the video script, I can do the social campaign, which would be to create a script that could be an email or it could be Facebook, etc. And what's nice about this, it already tells you, attention buyers and sellers in Kissimmee, as your trusted realtor, I want to share some important market trends. Currently, there's an 11.7 month supply inventory in your area, etc., etc., etc. Okay? You can copy the text, you can export to Word, you can export to PDF, file, send it by email. Let me see. I thought there was another one. If you're doing strictly buyers, I believe. See if it was the metrics. Okay, so it has here. See the social campaign. Ah, there it is. Okay. So when you do that, go to social campaign. Guess what, guys? They even put the emojis in there for you. So all you do is just copy and paste with the emojis. Okay? That's how detailed this is. The point I'm trying to make is you are paying for this. You are paying for this. Use it to your advantage. Now, I said about the webinars, okay? They also have Canva templates before I forget. You have Canva templates. You also have more ways to learn. Will take you to RPR. I'm going to cancel it. I want to go back to the home. I don't want to go this way. Okay. View the RPR webinars. Okay. Jumpstart your business from data to deals, serving clients with targeted property and market. RPR Masterclass, transform your listing presentations. You need help with your listing presentations? That's a good one to watch. Pricing, create data-driven CMAs with RPR. Advanced valuation CMA tools. That's what I was talking about. If you want to edit and adjust, track the market and trends. There is so much in here. Then view all webinars if you decide you want to see more of them. The other thing that's on here is step-by-step instructions. Here are all of the topics, every one of those that I printed out for you, the 36 of them. There might be some more in here, as that was done a while ago. So there is a plethora of information right here in RPR. Okay. Oh, so we're almost at time. Questions, comments, other?
Ronnie, were
Wow.
you going to share that one like amazing tool with us, that second one that you just showed us before you went through RPR?
The 36 printables?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now. Thank
that
you
was
for reminding me.
phenomenal. All of it is.
RPR residential printables 1 through 36. That should be there now.
Thank
There you
you.
go. You got that. I mean, guys, you know, it's stuff that we're already paying for. Use it to your advantage. And you'd be surprised that nobody else is doing this. Priyanka, you had a question. Priyanka, did you have a question? Okay.
Yes, I
Anyone
have one
else?
question. I have one question, Ronnie. Yeah. Can we get the recording of this call?
That will be from Authorine Johnson. She is the
Yes,
one
the
that's recording this,
recording,
and she promised us it would be tomorrow that
Yes.
she would get it. Oh, since you brought that up, no big deal. Let's do this. Why don't I do this for you? Let's go here. Let's go back to here. Let's go here. So those of you that have been with me a while may or may not know my YouTube page. My YouTube page is KW Classic Cappers in Training / my name. We have everything on here. What do I mean by that? I have everything that's ever been taught by us. And when I mean us, anybody from Pivot Shift. Let's just look at manage videos. Maybe that'll be the way, or maybe I should have went to the playlists. No, I don't want to manage videos. Sorry about that. Let's go back. Let's go to playlists. So under the playlist, so there's a lot from Keller Williams. There's also from me. Do you know your KW apps? Some of this may be outdated. There's some of my training videos. This one, how many of you know the amazing Terry Story? Yeah, there's Terry Story's fish story in 10 minutes, 10 minutes and 8 seconds. Learn how to price your home right in today's market in conjunction with using RPR. Okay? So that's Terry. Terry's on there. Let's see what else we have. We have 7th level mega open houses that I used to teach. The first one is with Jack Smith. We'll show you how to do it the luxury way, and I'll show it the way I taught the 7th level using no less than 100 signs. There's a couple of different versions of it there for you if you want. You have that. Next thing, Priscilla's Prospecting with Diana Kokoska is there. 10 steps to CNN. Oh, look at this. So the last one I did was 2 years ago. Yep. So we have it here. It's already recorded. There's about 7 of them. And when I get the one from Authorine, it'll go up there next because it'll be the most current. So you can see I changed from 10 ways to justify to 17 ways because I've found new ways to help us in our conquest. The DTD2 system and the golden letter. Who remembers the golden letter? Right? What's the golden letter? We have that in there. How to tag your command with the DTD2. All right. Then I have some more equity analysis in here, I think. Phil M. Jones, are you a lazy agent? That's a good one for a good laugh. And then look yourself in the eye and say, am I a lazy agent? Okay. What else do we have in here? Listing pre-qual questions. That's from an agent out in Texas. Lisa, you might know him, Paulie, Coach Paulie out there. He goes with the listing pre-qual from A to Z with the 20 questions. Okay. This one is an oldie but a goodie. Get a buyer's rep agreement signed. This is over 8 years old, and it still works today. So there's a lot of good material that you may or may not want to use. That's up to you, but it's all there for you. It's free. Just join and watch it. I never closed it. I made it for my Ignite classes when I started teaching Ignite back in 2016. So they had something to lean on, leverage, etc. So everything's there for you. You're welcome more to use it. Okay?
Ronnie, can you put your link, YouTube link over
Oh,
the
that
chat?
would be helpful. That would be very helpful. Thank you, Priyanka. Keep me on my toes.
Yeah,
Love
thank you.
that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Let me see. That would be very helpful. Let's go back to this. Go here with the exact one. There it is. Copy. And paste. That should be it. Okay. All right. So if there is nothing else, I'd like to thank you all for attending. I'll give you back 9 minutes of your life. Some of you may be running to go eat lunch. I know, yeah, we're a little late on this, but it's the only time the Market Center had. If you are with the Atlanta Market Center or at the Reigns, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you for hosting me. And I hope this has been something that you can take with you and enjoy. Okay, guys? We'll see you on the calls. Don't forget, practice makes perfect. Live long and prosper. Thank you.